Hello, everybody. My name is Crystal, the host of the Voices That Build podcast from the Brickers Foundation. And today we have a special guest. So let me introduce Dan Dozier, the founder of SoulxChange, the independent creator OS. Hello, Dan. How are you doing today?
Hey, everybody. I'm doing great. How are you doing, Crystal?
Wonderful, fantastic, great. So we at the Breakers Foundation, our mission is to uplift all voices, amplify impact, and that includes organizations and our nonprofit features that you'll find in our other playlist on YouTube, but it also includes just your neighbors, your friends, people with great ideas, and the person with the great idea today is Dan. So we are going to talk about you today. Are you ready to talk about yourself?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, perfect. So let's jump in super really quickly. Let's talk about SoulxChange. What is it? Just kind of like a quick little pitch about what it is and why you are starting now. A lot of people, especially I know what it is, but I'm not going to say, but people that are in your field typically tend to have all of these things, the investors, the ideas, the products, and you're really out there launching it ground zero. What made you want to do that and show everyone the process of creating something like this and explain what SoulxChange is for people who don't know?
Yeah, absolutely. So SoulxChange in a nutshell is, in my title, the independent creator operating system. So what our goal is that when a creator actually uploads their work of art, their PDF, their file from Final Draft, their file from Premiere Pro, it will attach a certificate of authenticity onto the file, and it will actually upload into our network. What this will do is that this will actually create a blockchain or an immutable chain to where people can actually keep track of their chain of title, so that when you actually go and pitch studios, it's a lot easier to keep track of who created what. In the age of AI, when we're actually creating and having instant generation, we need a way to actually differentiate ourselves and actually protect ourselves as creators, because there's a big difference between typing a generational tool into a prompt and actually using your time and effort and actually creating something. And that's what's actually going to be worth money in the long term.
Love that so very much. And we're going to get to the layman's version of that here in a moment. So what is the hardest part here about finding, because essentially you're looking for volunteers. You don't really have the capacity to hire a full team or a full marketing team. It's like, hey, let me get my friends together and do this thing. What has been the hardest part with that, from trusting people to turn your idea into something real without necessarily, I'll just say it, financial gain? Because that is the recession that we're in. That's a lot of people's thing. That's why a lot of creators might feel a little hesitant to ask for help and ask for volunteers. So what's been the obstacles there?
Yeah, honestly, it's really been gaining volunteers for this whole thing. Being the founder myself, I do have a great team behind me, with a great set of people. But I feel like, for me, being stuck to where I'm at currently, I've been having to fill every single position myself, from marketing to social media to budgeting to marketing, everything from step A to step Z. And unfortunately, I'm running out of steam very quickly. It's getting to a point to where I'm having to DoorDash for extra income because of work complications that I have on my side. So it's really getting to a point to where if I can get people to back this process and back this company, it will turn out beneficial in the long term.
Mm-hmm. And it is, I know a lot of people that are creative. I don't like to say I'm creative myself, but it is also difficult to explain what our vision is and break it down. So that's another thing too, is telling people about this big idea and then trusting them to take that big idea and turn it into small little things, which is what millions of nonprofits are trying to do every day. And unfortunately, why a lot of them fail. So that's why, like me personally, I love this concept of the Brickers Foundation, because it does give nonprofits and people with ideas the platform to begin those conversations. So let's talk. So the people that are like me and not super like wordly inclined or technologically inclined. What problem does what are you trying to solve in 2 sentences or less?
In 2 sentences or less, financial insecurity. That's essentially what we're trying to solve. The starving artist problem. Because right now, income is so scattered that creators are not able to qualify for homes. They're not able to qualify for cars. They're getting turned away by banks and being turned away to where because they have like maybe in the creator economy and in the creator income for YouTube, they're not actually able to export that data into one clean place to actually qualify for what they need to qualify for living life. And there's no company out there that does this right now. So step 1 would be providing creator protections. Step 2 would be providing that financial security for these creators so that we don't see these artists starving on the street. So we don't have that narrative continue.
I love how I said 2 sentences or less, and that was several paragraphs. But you know what?
Sorry.
Love you for it. No, totally fine. You just answered my follow-up questions about who it's for. So really, at the end of the day, there's a lot of people that are going to sit there and look at this and go, okay, well, being a content creator isn't a job. And obviously, you and I disagree with that because that's in part a lot of what we do. What would you say to those people that say, you know, why does this even matter?
Well, considering that the creator economy is going to reach the $1 trillion mark by 2030. And let's be honest, we're 5 years away from that. It may not seem like that, but we're less than one election cycle away from that, essentially. And so if you really think about how much money is coming into the pockets of these creators, how many of these people will not have an ability to actually qualify for an apartment because with AI taking over jobs, with AI eliminating, I mean, look at Oracle, look at TikTok, look at all these other social media platforms that are choosing to have artificial intelligence rather than human creativity. That's going to reach a brick wall at some point, and it's already starting to.
It really is. And I think that there's a lot of people, not to make this, you know, the big AI debate of 2026, but there are people that go, well, you know, the modern cars kind of put other people out of business too. And it's like, right, but there was actually a problem there. Like the cars that we had where they could reach top speeds of 30 miles an hour weren't really effective, but people are effective and creators are effective too. And I think that that is one thing that we're missing. Without being mean, some people aren't meant to be creative, and AI gives them an excuse to pretend to be creative or at least find value in creativity. But like you said, it's going to hit a wall at some point. And we have people now whose work is being stolen by AI. We have work. It's not even about the work being stolen. It's about the automations that are happening that, like with apartments, like you mentioned, there's things that will, an AI reads it and auto denies you. And a lot of people don't know that you should talk to a human after that. You should call that place and then talk to a person because it was probably a robot. So like I said, not to make it an anti-AI kind of conversation as far as generative AI goes, but I agree with everything you're saying. So as far as resources and I'll compare you continuously to a nonprofit because Brickers primarily does uplift nonprofits. And again, there is a parallel between nonprofits and people with ideas. So a lot of those nonprofits, and you had mentioned as well about you're doing the marketing and the ideas and the writing and the pitching and all that stuff. What is the reality? Not like the influencer, look at my grind, I built this product. What is the reality, a typical day in your life of building something with very limited resources?
So typically on a day-to-day basis, it's really kind of honing in the operating system. It's honing in what people are going to want, and really kind of making sure that every brick is lined up. Because without the support system that I'm building, without the pillars that I'm building, the entire thing will fall apart. So for me, it's I'm really kind of building the foundation right now. I'm building what the company I want it to be, what I want the future to look like, what I want our eventuality to look like. And right now it's hit a point to where I'm reaching a point to where I can't go any further without going into the future and keep cycling that that back and forth. It doesn't make any sense. So I need people to actually come on board with this and help me move this forward.
For sure, for sure. And with that, how do you sort of navigate the asking for help without feeling like you're burdening other people? Like, it is a lot to ask somebody, whether it is a nonprofit, saying, hey, volunteer your time and your skills. We can't pay you right now, but maybe in the future. Or as someone like you in your position of like, hey, I really believe in this idea. If you can find it in you to believe in it too, can you help? Have you found a way to do that without feeling really insecure about asking people for help? Or is that something you still struggle with?
That is something I definitely still struggle with. It's because it's why I haven't like posted everywhere like, hey, we need help, because it's getting people to volunteer their time in 2026 when gas is still on the rise, when grocery prices are still on the rise, when everything is still on the rise and it's not getting any better. It's really hard for them to actually take time out of their day. And like, I've had people sign on and then quit suddenly because they've had another opportunity come up. And that's the unfortunate part about this, is because of where we're at currently, we may have all these things lined up, but until that first domino starts to fall, we're going to be continuing in the same position.
Yeah, and that is to break the fourth wall. We typically, with this podcast, we are building this podcast as we go. And as far, Ari and I talked last week about, he does the media, I do the marketing, I'm the marketing manager, he's the AV guy, hence the initials. And we're really just kind of figuring out as we go. And one of the biggest pieces that we're figuring out is people don't just need funding, they need people willing to believe in something early, before it's tangible, before it's out there, before it's got all of this evidence. So why we talked last week about what community means to us. What does community mean to you and to SoulxChange? What difference would it make if you built a community of, let's say, 30, 40 people around this idea?
Community is everything to SoulxChange. Honestly, it's the whole reason why I've built this. When you see other companies be for-profit only, I'm specifically building my company to be a public benefit corporation. So in other words, we basically have to pay attention to our governance model and also our shareholder value. So for me, having a community that's tight-knit, that has all these smaller, independent, small businesses rather than large corporations, that's what I feel like would succeed in the long term, rather than going to somebody bigger, like A24. So I feel like if we had a point to where we could actually get all these independent and creative people onto, not even on board, but even signed on to this network, we can continuously grow not only us, but them. Mm-hmm. Because this really is a shared reality at the end of the day.
It really is. And the thing that I really enjoy, sorry, my window is right here. So I keep getting a fly and a moth, and they're fighting for my attention right now. So the thing too is, we've seen it. I'm published in a magazine that I didn't know the journalist had asked permission for. This was a few years ago, until like after it was already published. And it was about one of my videos that I made in like 2023 maybe. But that's just a small example of, you can post something. Like I can post right now with, I don't have any branded thing, this box, right? And make a video with this box. There's really nothing stopping them from taking that video and using it in their marketing. And what do I get out of it? And sure, you could fight and say, well, it's fair use, whatever. But there needs to be something like SoulxChange that kind of puts a stop to that, where someone has an idea, they have a great idea, they make a skit, they make a video, they tell you something, they give you a recommendation. And if that company, the big monopoly of a company worth billions of dollars with CEOs getting millions of dollars a year, then has to give that creator something to use their property. So that's why I like it. To close this out, what kind of support, if you could, at the end of today, you open your mailbox and there's just a magic box and it has exactly what you need in it, what kind of support does SoulxChange need right now, whether that's volunteers, people with specific skills, or early adopters?
Right now we definitely need, I'm definitely in need of marketing. I definitely need somebody who can handle the social media, somebody who can actually handle the website and actually getting the merchandise onto the website. Because frankly, being the one person who's handling everything from A to Z, it's starting to be a boon on me. And it's starting to be to where I can't finish everything in all in one day, or in the small amount of hours that I have outside of my car.
Mm-hmm.
Because let's be honest, DoorDash doesn't pay diddly. So I really do need people who are excited about this process, who are excited about what this company could build, and really ending that starving artist narrative for the future. I mean, if studios have controlled the script for generations, why can't we build the next one?
Positivity. We said it last time. Listen, I'm corny. All right, I'll say it. I'll say it. You know very well. And we said something last time about people just wanting all this negativity and like the T channels, and I'm like, we have positivity. So now that's like, you know, the word we're gonna sneak into every episode. So yeah. No, that's great. So if you watching this are somebody who is good with social media, good with websites, I think you use Shopify. Is that correct?
Currently using Shopify. I've got somebody building the website right now, which hopefully we should be having a meeting on Sunday to discuss the rest of this. But I do have a solid team behind me, a team that is willing to believe in this whole process. We just need more volunteers to actually help us build.
Yeah. So you can find Dan. I'm sure we'll put his socials in the whatever direction he is. I'm direct inept. We will put his socials and SoulxChanges in the description of this video, wherever you're seeing it. So you should be able to just navigate to that. Send him a message if you would like to volunteer. That's something as well you can put up there is a volunteer submission form or something cute like that. But thank you so much. I appreciate it. If you had one thing to tell everybody listening, everyone that has an idea, or everyone that wants to take a chance on an idea or a dream that they have, what would you say?
Don't give up on it. Keep moving forward. Honestly, I mean, you would not believe the power of positivity. And you said it best. I mean, it's positivity. It really is. I mean, if you have a negative attitude, it's not going to lead you anywhere. I've beat so many trials and tribulations in my own life to where I could be negative. I could be the negative person who is the negative Nancy, who doesn't do anything with their life and is just like sour all the time. But I've chosen to take what I've experienced and push myself forward. And if you are going through the same thing, it does get better. It will get better. And all you have to do is believe. I know that sounds corny, but that's pretty much what it is.
I wonder who told you that. Sorry, this is the gap touch now. No, I love that. I love that so much. We will put the SoulxChange, all the information in the description. Thank you so much for joining us. Very last minute. Like I said, we're kind of building this as we go. So yeah. I'm in my very real library with my very real books, and
I'm my very real car.
Yes, very real car. If anyone's got a green screen, it's that guy.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much. This is we might try to do this all the time on this podcast. Like I said, each episode is kind of built within a few minutes before we do it. And that's just kind of where we've been at, because much like with SoulxChange, the Brickers Foundation is being developed in real time. We're sort of learning how to fly the plane as we're in it. So good luck. Yeah, to us. It's kind of hard to fly a plane, but it's fun. I enjoy the marketing side of things, and it's a really great group of people. If you are somebody with an idea, or you work at a nonprofit, volunteer at one, or you have an idea like Dan has an idea and you need help, or you just want to talk about it, let us know. Aria will put something probably here to where you can visit that website and learn more. So thank you again, Dan, so much for being here, and everyone else, thank you for watching, and I will talk to you next time.
Yeah, thank you guys for having me, and we'll see you next time.